Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Long time no see. We were just on about 4 hours ago. It's only 4 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm already down a full unit. All right. Shout out Colorado Rockies. Shout out Austin Gomber. Gave up 11 hits, most in his career in a single game. And I really appreciate him doing that for me. Because after I had a losing night last night, I was really hoping to start today off with a loss. I just really appreciate that. God damn it. We'll bounce back, though. So I'm off to a rough start. Lost the first bet of the day. A lot of baseball left, though. We got, obviously, you can see Skee and Chris are here. WNBA, we got one game up first, and then we got the NBA Finals. So let's start off. Connecticut's on the road at Chicago here. Sky catching 7 points at home, it looks like. Total down at 153.5. Can the Chicago Sky keep this one close? Who wants to bat lead off?
Go ahead, Skee.
Well, I wanted to get there with Chicago, but I just couldn't do it. I mean, Sun. If I was going to bet against the Sun, it would be on the road. But the one thing I do want to bet on in this game is Sun being the better team for one. I think that they can control the tempo. We know they like to play slow, slowest pace in the league, and they're also the best defensive team. Sky also top half of the league in defense, and if anything, both of these teams struggle on the offensive end. So I was just looking at that, and also looking at some trends. You have Sky 4-1 to the first half under off of a loss, and Sun first half is 7-2 to the under off of a win. So just putting all those things together, I think it's a lower scoring game, and we're getting 78 for the first half compared to 153 for the full game. I decided to chop it in half. So first half under 78 was my play for this game.
First half under 78. Okay, Chris?
So the thing that stands out to me in this game is Elizabeth Williams won't be there for Chicago. I think she got a lower leg injury. I forgot exactly what it was, but I don't trust the Sky offensively to be able to score. Kind of like what Skee's talking about. I don't trust them to be able to stop anybody without Elizabeth Williams either. Honestly, you got a front court now with two rookies, and Angel Reese and Cardosa. That's not going to get it done. Also, the way that the Sky like to score the basketball, I think it's going to be neutralized here because this is a team that, they rely heavily on getting second chance points, and they rely heavily on points off turnovers. I think they're like top 3 in both of those. They don't shoot the ball well from the 3-point line, and I think Connecticut's going to be able to slow them down. I think that Connecticut wins this game probably by double digits. So I'm willing to lay the 7 here. I'm also looking at their team total to go over. And that's the Elizabeth Williams factor in itself. She played 37 minutes in the first game that the two teams played. And she had 10 points, 5 rebounds, but she was a +2, which was actually the highest plus-minus on the floor. So without her being there, I feel like we saw Connecticut offense kind of get jump-started against Indiana the other day. I think it continues here. I think they go over their team total. It's sitting at 79.5 right now. So I'll split it. I'll go Sun minus the 7, and I'll go Connecticut team total over.
So Connecticut...
This is
Go ahead.
My bad. This is not a Fever defense, though. Fever can't stop a nosebleed. Chicago, I mean, if anything, you don't think the length of Cardoso is going to bother Bree? Like, she's not going to be able to score in the paint like she normally does. And if it's just up to Bonner, Alyssa Thomas is going to try to push the pace, but I don't know. I feel like Chicago matches up well with Connecticut. Sounds like you disagree.
So this is what I say to that. I say, like, in the first game when they played, Chicago beat them. Connecticut beat them 86-82, and that was a game with Elizabeth Williams, who I think is their best, front court defender. So you subtract her from the equation, and to me, it just means that the Sun gonna be able to score the ball a little bit even more, in my opinion. Especially if Cardosa or Angel Reese end up getting in foul trouble, and then you just when I dive into it, Connecticut, I think that they should be able to live at the free throw line. This is the number 1 team in the league versus shooting free throws versus the team that gives up the third most. Connecticut should be able to control the offensive rebounds. They're 3rd in offensive rebounding rating versus the 11th rated team that's giving up rebounds. And then I think they're going to kill second chance points as well. They're second in chance points, second chance points versus a Sky team that's young, and they give up the most second chance points. They also should be able to score in the paint, fourth in points in the paint versus the 11th team in points in the paint. So I like on paper, like when you look at the size, Skee, in my opinion, Connecticut doesn't have like a lot of advantages. But when you're talking about Bree Jones, you're talking about Alyssa Thomas, like they beat this team up in the paint, and it doesn't really match like on versus off. But yeah, for whatever reason, Chicago doesn't do a good job of giving up points in the paint. They give up a ton of points in the paint. So yeah, I still think that Connecticut's going to be able to score. But their team total sitting at 81.5. I think that they can go over that.
Oh, so it's 81 and 8. I see 80.5, Chris.
80.5, 79.5. My fault. I misspoke. 79. It's some 79s and a half out there.
There are 79.
Depending on what kind of juice you want to lay.
I want to argue the numbers just because, I mean, Cardoso started, I mean, she came back a few games ago. She was on a minutes restriction. So a lot of these numbers is not including, her playing a good amount of minutes. And she is 6'7". That I don't care what nobody says. It's not easy to score in the paint against 6'7" when your tallest player is 6'3". So we're just gonna have to disagree.
Well, one thing you agree on. So all right. You guys disagree on Connecticut's ability to score, but you guys both seem to be in agreement that Chicago's going to struggle to score. So give me Chicago team total under 73.5.
So the only reason I didn't play that, I was looking at that. The only reason I didn't play that is because they went over the number in the last game, 82. And I just feel like 73, Skee would be able to speak to this a little bit more. He's been capping WNBA a little bit longer than I have, but 73 just seems like a number you can kind of creep over. Like, I know Connecticut's slowest paced team on the road, best defensive team. But if they're not like completely locked in here, they are at the rest disadvantage as well. I think it's like 3 days to 1 or something like that. Chicago hasn't played since Saturday when they lost to Atlanta, I think. So yeah, just all of those things. I kind of feel like I said this. I made this point for the Fever the other day that if they wanted to be able to score against Connecticut, they were going to have to speed the pace up. So maybe we see Chicago try to play a little bit faster. I don't think they're going to be efficient because they're the worst three-point shooting team in the WNBA. And outside of Marina Mabrey, nobody else on that team can shoot the ball. Dana Evans is not somebody that really scares me from the perimeter. I'm interested to hear what Skee thinks about that.
I agree that the number is very low, but I can understand why it's low. I mean, if you just look at how Connecticut has been playing lately, five of their last 6 games, they've held their opponent under this number. Only team that got over was the Liberty, and Chicago is nowhere near close to the Liberty offensively. So I can understand it. I think Kyle did a good job of capping the cappers and
right?
Putting it together.
Yeah, that's where I go based on, I feel like it encapsulates something each of you said. So, all right, let's talk NBA Finals. Okay, so go ahead and slap a Dallas -2.5 up for me, please, Prop Beaver. I'm on Dallas. I'm pretty sure Skee is with me on that, so you can probably give him Dallas -2.5 too. All right, so as far as what we've seen on the court from these two teams, I feel like you can make strong arguments on both sides. The number one thing that jumps out at me for Dallas is the missed wide open shots. They're shooting. I don't have the numbers in front. You know what? I do have the numbers in front of me. 1 second. Ready? Dallas Mavericks, wide open 3-point shots in the NBA Finals, 11 of 47. That's 23.4%. So, I mean, it's basketball. Sometimes your shots aren't falling, and you might think of that and be like, oh, Dallas is ass. They're missing wide open shots. Yeah, of course, that's a negative, but it also could be a positive in Game 3 because there's room for some improvement there. You're switching locations. You get back home in Dallas. We've seen this team lose the first 2 games. All of a sudden, those open shots, a couple of those start falling, some momentum swings, and it's a completely different looking series. I mean, 23.7% from wide open threes on NBA Advanced Stats is 4 feet or more of space. So open looks from outside, Dallas has not been hitting them. So back home, all I need them to do is just be a little bit better. Come on, just be a little bit better. Give me 35% from your wide open threes, and they should be right in this game. Probably should win it. So that's number one, but I really should include this caveat in here. Boston hasn't shot the ball particularly great either. So I just feel like if I'm being fair, Dallas has a lot of room for improvement as far as outside shooting. Boston could actually shoot better than that as well. So there's definitely room for improvement on the Boston side. Other than that, I mean, this series has been really tight. I mean, rebounding battle is close. We saw Dallas a battle with them down low for a lot of these games. But what really sent me over the edge, and I usually don't bet based on stuff like this, but this one was pretty significant, and I'm sure Chris has this one loaded up. So actually, There it is. Finally. Sorry, it was at the bottom. All right. Since 2003 or since 2004, I think, or 2003, whatever. Home favorites in game 3. They're down 0-2 in the series, 62-28 straight up, 53-35-2 against the spread. So historically, you bet the home team laying points in game 3 that's down 0-2. It's been very profitable. And then in addition to that, if you isolate it to just the NBA Finals, 6-0 straight up, 3-2-1 against the spread. So historically, what we've seen in NBA the last 20 years or so, this is be a spot you bet the home team down 0-2 laying points. And look, obviously we can talk about Kristaps Porzingis possibly not playing. Let me check if there's an update on that. I placed my bet last night, so I didn't feel any need to go look because, yeah, he's still questionable. That doesn't move the needle for me a ton either way. I mean, the Boston Celtics were 21-4 this year without Porzingis. We saw him win a playoff series without him. So it's not like Porzingis being out, oh, we got to hammer Dallas. There's no Porzingis. Boston's still one of the best teams in the NBA without him. And I don't mean that in as a slight to Porzingis. I actually think he's a really valuable piece. But this Celtics team is loaded with or without him. So Kristaps Porzingis, if he ends up not playing, yeah, that's a plus for us. But if he ends up playing, it's not like I think we're screwed or anything. It just doesn't move the needle a ton for me. In fact, maybe him being out, he was blocking some shots. That definitely shifted some momentum. But as a whole, not really a huge factor in my process. I'm on the Mavs here.
I might talk for a while, Chris. So, okay. I'll go.
Well, no, whoever. I don't care who goes.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Skee.
Well, a couple things that you said there, Kyle. I'll agree. First of all, I prefer to take Dallas on the money line rather than points. I don't even want to think about points. I just would like them to win the game. But as far as those open 3-pointers, I mean, Celtics have been, just fine ignoring whatever role players it is that are going to shoot above the break threes. And they've consistently done it. And none of them have been able to hit. But we always say role players play better at home. So I do expect a lot more of those to go in. Also, Kyrie, I mean, he struggled in Boston since he's left. Now he gets to go back home and, be more comfortable. And I'm pretty sure he will play better too. I talk about all the time how good of a coach Jason Kidd is. We know how terrible he is to start series, whether it's game 1 or whatever the case is. But he's made it to 2 Western Conference Finals and the finals. That tells you how good he is at making adjustments. And in game 3, he's won and covered 5 out of 6. So I trust him to show some things that will fix what was going wrong. And to me, it was a lot of the offense for the Mavs. So whether we see, X some more minutes to try to help with the pace to get easier shots faster, or we see like a Tim Hardaway Jr. come in to help with the shooting, I think we'll see something a little bit different to help the Mavs score the ball better. And also, they could go to – when they go to – like if Porzingis is out, it's a big deal. If he plays – he's going to be a liability too because he barely could even run up and down the court at the end of the game. He has, I forget what it's called, a torn something, and I don't think he will be effective. So let's just assume if he's in, he'll get picked on. If he's out, they don't want to play somebody who can't shoot. So that leaves like some of the time in the game where Tatum is guarding Gafford, and we saw in a couple possessions he could take advantage of the smaller players. So I think there's a lot of ways for the Mavs to improve. I think they'll play with desperation because of that spot that you talked about. No team has ever came back from down 0-3. So this is all or nothing for Dallas. You have to win this game. So I agree with all of those things, but I think the over is also in play in this game. Couple of the keys that I heard from listening to Media Day for Dallas is they want to get out in transition because they don't want to play against this set defense all the time, and they want to get more baskets at the rim. And from listening to that and watching the game over again, there was plenty of, instances where guys could cut towards the rim rather than just standing on the perimeter, and they had an easy dunk, easy layup. So I think they'll take advantage of all those things. And so I like the over. I like Dallas. And I'll give one more. I didn't bet it just because I don't bet a whole lot of props. But if Porzingis is not out there playing, I mean, through the first 2 games with him already in, Tatum has grabbed 11 and 12 rebounds. I can see him getting double-digit rebounds once again tonight.
I like what you said about the Dallas offense. I had talked about that on the same thing on the YouTube video last night, where Dallas offensive rating in these playoffs is 115.6 or something, like something pretty solid. In the finals, it's 100. So the offense has been significantly worse. And they saw Minnesota, the number 1 defense, Oklahoma City, the number 4 defense. So Boston's defense is good, but Dallas has been scoring efficiently on elite defenses this whole playoff. So I agree. Dallas offensively should bounce back. I might even tell you on that over, honestly, because I agree with you. I wasn't originally going to bet the total, but I like what you said. And put up over for me. I'm telling.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey, I guess mine will be short because you said a lot of the things that I was going to say, Kyle, and I like what Skee said as well. So I guess I'll talk about that trend, and we talk about. I think Skee mentioned a little sense of desperation for the Dallas side of things, but also a bit of complacency. I think that goes into that trend too. The home favorite coming back home 0-2. So I think you see a little bit of both. I think Skee mentioned Kyrie playing a little bit better, but also they just got to shoot the ball better. I think they shot 23% in game 1 from the 3-point line, 26% from the 3-point line in game 2. So I think we see some positive aggression there. And I also like what Skee said about Porzingis being a big factor. If we remember back to Boston, I still don't think that they've lost a game on the road yet. But we remember back to the games that they potentially lost on the road. It was the games against the Indiana Pacers, teams that can really isolate Al Horford and put him in the pick and roll. And I think we start to see that. I know in game 1, when Al Horford was the primary defender, Dallas shot just 1 for 13 from the field. And he got to be barbecue chicken if you're Luka and Kyrie. And I also think we start to see some shots fall from PJ Washington and Derek White, of course, as well. So, I'm in agreement with you guys. I like that total to go over as well because Porzingis not being in there and Al Horford having to play more minutes, to me, just means more shot opportunities. And I think they start to fall a little bit. And the pace, I mentioned it in game 2, which is why I like the Dallas Mavericks team total over, even though they fell 5 points short. But you have to get out and play faster and avoid Boston in that in the half-court defense. So I like the over, and I also like Dallas as well. So we're all in agreement there. We either gonna be really happy as a cast, or we're gonna be really really upset.
Or there's going to be a lot of extremely hateful offensive comments. One of the two. Either way, it's a win-win. So yeah, we all feel the same about this game. Dallas over, and Chris, you said Dallas team total over, right? That's what you're rocking with.
No, I like the full game over, but Dallas team total, absolutely, yeah. Because it makes sense. Dallas not going to win this game. I mean, they scored 98 points and 100 points, something like that in the first 2, and they haven't been able to win either. But I will say this: they've held Boston under their team total in both games so far as well. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Probably if you want to clear the pick, they could see these guys' Twitter names. So both of these guys have their own YouTube show. Skee's about 2 hours before mine, Monday through Friday, and Chris is early in the morning. So make sure you show these guys some support. I appreciate them taking the time to come on. That's their Twitter names below. So I tagged them in the tweet too. So if you follow me on Twitter, it's right there. Just click on them, give them a follow. If you're looking for to watch some more sports betting content, make sure you check them out. Gentlemen, thank you for joining.
Appreciate you having me on as always, Kyle. Best of luck tonight, Skee.
Yeah, Skee. Let me know when you want me to hop on with some baseball this week or whatever you get your next show is. Let me know.
All right, bet.
All right, man. Toast, what's up, man? How about those Rockies, huh? You know what's crazy is it's 10-8 now. I mean, I turned it off because I had the first 5, but they're actually hold on, my camera's too high up here. There we go. So they're actually in the game. But Rockies have what the hell? There we go. Rockies have no bullpen, whatever. Looks like we both are gonna hit our bets. You had Toronto first 5 and Milwaukee full game.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. It always never ceases to amaze me how somebody can talk shit about making a half unit or 0.75 unit bet on a 190 dog. And
you know what I've discovered too? So I always noticed that a lot of upset comments come in and on certain games, and I figured it out. So it's when you take a dog. You ready for this? I've nailed it. So the most upset comments is when you take a dog and lose in the first game of a slate. like if a game starts at 12:30 and the rest start at 2, is because their parlays got spoiled for the day. So you ruined their whole their whole day. Because for a while, like remember that one day where we both took a shot on the Red Sox, like plus 145. I think it was against the
Baltimore.
Yeah, against Baltimore, and we lost. And with that game was like 12:30. I ended up going 4-2 that day. But I lost Red Sox money line in the beginning, and there was all these comments. It's because they tailed us and put down this huge parlay throughout the day, which is like, why would you do that? Like, so I figured it out. That's why.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I mean,
So the first bet of the day, if you take a dog and lose, you will get a lot of pissed off comments because they all laid down these huge idiotic parlays. All right.
I mean, 18 runs in a game says enough. I
Right. With two terrible offenses too. Like what the All right. Guardians Reds. Toast, you saw my bet in this one, right? Are you with me on this?
Giants. What'd you say? Sorry.
You saw my
Yes,
bet on
with
this.
you. I'm with you. Reds up. Reds up.
We're both on
Ellie.
Reds money line.
Let's go.
Oh, nice. You got a shirt on. So me and Toast are both on Reds money line here. Where's the Reds? Oh, I keep going. I think Reds is later. There we go. Must be out of order. Yeah, did you start on? No, start on game 3, dude. Oh, so the next. Oh, all right. We'll start on game 3. Well, yeah. No. So the next up is going to be wrong for the next 3 games. So we'll get to the Reds. Spoiler alert, we're on the Reds. That's in 3 games though. The first up is Atlanta, Baltimore. Sorry about that. So System Plays likes the Braves a lot. He's been saying it all day in the Discord that Braves are the move here. I won't do it.
No, I've already bet Baltimore and sent it out last night.
Oh, you're on Baltimore? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not. I'm not trying to catch a falling knife with the Braves. First of all, do I agree with System Plays that like the money splits and all that stuff would tell you to bet Atlanta? Yeah, probably. Wouldn't argue that. What is Baltimore going to be a heavy public side? Yeah. Well, they've also been a heavy public side for like a year and a half, and it really, at this point, it doesn't really matter. Like with Baltimore games, you rather bet with them or bet against them, and if you bet against them, it's your fault. Because trust me, I've been one of those people that's tried to pick off Baltimore a couple times. But again, this team over their last 30, they're 20-10, their last 30, 15-5, their last 27-3, their last 10. This team just keeps on rolling. These two kids, both of these Povich and Schwellenbach, both pitched, I think, at Nebraska together. So there's a little history there of these guys going head to head, but neither one of them looked good in their previous start. One of them against Boston, one of them against Toronto. Like, I don't really put too much stock into that. I just don't see the Braves scoring a whole bunch of runs. I get it's a lefty, all that stuff, but until the Braves show me that they can score runs and win games, I'm going to continue to fade them. So I got Baltimore like minus 118. It's like I'd still play them at minus 130, knowing that the world's on them. I just think that the Braves stink, and I still think that the books haven't priced the Braves right yet because again, they are same. We'll go through the last 30 again. 13-7 their last 30, 8-12 their last 20, 4-6 their last 10. They're not even a 500 baseball team the last month, and they're being priced like the division favorites. It's absolutely ridiculous. Baltimore money line.
Yeah, I don't understand. Now I understand that, like, okay, Povich is on the mound, but they have Schwellenbach on the mound for the Braves, so it's not like that's an advantage. This is we got 2 newer arms that are unproven. Baltimore's bullpen is a little bit taxed, but still, based on the way these 2 teams have played in the last month, Baltimore should be minus 160 here. Let's be honest. Like, that's minus 155, minus 160. Baltimore's been a lot better than Atlanta. Maybe that won't be the case in a month, but that's the case right now. So it would only be O's for me here. I'm not gonna bet it because you got the Baltimore bullpen is a little bit taxed, and Povich, I don't even know anything about him. Then I'm going to lay juice when I really just an uncertainty at starting pitcher and an uncertainty in the bullpen. I don't know. Just I didn't bet it, but it would only be Baltimore for me.
I guess my only thing I can say is that if Atlanta, if they blow up Povich, it is what it is. But if the Atlanta gets to the Baltimore bullpen, so be it. Like, that's just where I'm at.
Yeah, they're not getting to anything or anyone right now. So next up is Washington, Detroit, and honestly, I don't even want to look at the Tigers right now. Yesterday sucked for me. I went 2-4, but if the Tigers hold on and win that game, I'm 3-3 and my full unit bet hits. So like all of a sudden, I might have even been green if the Tigers won. So I know that obviously a lot's involved in going 2-4, but I put the entire blame of yesterday on the Detroit Tigers. I blame the whole thing on them because everything would have been fine if the Tigers just didn't blow that game. And Riley Green, did you watch the 10th inning of that game, Toast? This man struck out looking at a pitch down the freaking middle in the 10th inning. Down a run. It was right over the plate. Riley Green, he's supposed to be the next superstar for Detroit, right? Isn't that their guy?
I mean, he did get the hit that scored the runs.
He struck, dude, did you see the pitch?
I know. I'm just saying that you got to, if you say that, you also got to say that he's the one that drove in all the runs, too.
No, I'm not saying anything like that.
Yeah.
So I guess it would only be Washington or pass. I don't even want to talk about this shit.
Yeah, it's Washington or pass. I'm probably going to pass on another Jake Irvin really good start and be pissed off. But Washington bullpen isn't in great shape right now. Finnegan 2 of the last 3, Harvey 32 yesterday, Floro 3 of the last 4, and Derek Law went 27 yesterday. Again, I don't expect Jake Irvin to pitch bad, and I don't know what to expect with Reese Olson. He had been really, really good. His last 2 starts have been terrible. Has the regression monster caught him? I just don't know what to expect. I don't expect 8 runs. I don't expect 0 runs, and that's kind of what the difference is with Reese Olson starts right now. So, again, it's Nats or pass. I think I missed the number, and, I don't want to get involved with that bullpen, so.
I feel bad for Reese Olson because there's comments coming in saying keep betting against Reese Olson, Reese's cheeks. Man,
I know it's whatever.
In the entire month of May, he gave up 2 earned runs. Detroit just doesn't hit for him. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, so it would be Nats or pass for me anyway. Next game. I ended up leaving this off my ticket, but how do you not play the Cubs here? Right?
Because they took your heart and put it in a blender last night?
No, they took your heart and put it in a blender.
Really?
Mine? They took both our hearts and put it in a blender,
that's what I'm talking about.
But okay. Assad versus Savale. Here's my thoughts here. And I feel like we were kind of in the same situation with Austin Gomer earlier today. So maybe I should use the game earlier as a learning experience. You got Javier Assad, who overall is having a great season, but he's struggling recently. Is this the bounce back spot for him against a really bad Rays lineup that hasn't been hitting right-handed pitching, hasn't been hitting starters at home? So is this a bounce back spot for Assad to get back on track? Or is Javier Assad in a tailspin? And that, if you can answer that question, you can win this bet because it really rides on the shoulders of Javier Assad. If he bounces back and has a good start, the Cubs will win this game. Because the Rays are trash against righties. They're trash at home. The offense is just bad. But if Assad continues to struggle, put up Cubs money line for me. Bullpen wise, it's a crapshoot because both of these units are pretty taxed. Both these units aren't very good. So as far as the late innings, good luck. But I do think the more valuable side to be on would be the Cubs. Again, didn't make my ticket. I put out a video on this game, and I said I was thinking about taking the Cubs. I haven't bet it yet. If Toast really wants to co-sign it, I'd be down to try it.
Nope.
All right, go ahead.
Well, look at the bullpen. I mean,
the Rays bullpen is the same shit, though.
I know, but the Cubs' bullpen is taxed. I mean, their top 2 arms are gone, so that's a major. I mean, again, the Rays are terrible, and that shouldn't matter. But this is just a complete pass for me. I'm not interested in paying -1 or getting -110 with either one of these teams, and that's essentially what it's at right now. I'm sure you can line shop for a couple cents here or there, but I would need at least plus money to take the Cubs, and I would need like plus 500 to take the Rays. So I'm just at a point now where I can't take the Cubs. I'm not sure what to expect from Assad. Not that Savali's been great either. I mean, he's had a couple of decent starts here and there, but over his last 7 starts, it really hasn't been great. But like I said, the Cubs bullpen, Hector Neris not only blew the save last night, he's worked 2 of the last 3. Mark Leiter Jr., 3 of the last 4. And Hayden Wisniewski went 28 pitches last night. So that's their top 3 arms in the Cubs bullpen, severely taxed. So just not a spot that I'm trying to deal with later in the later innings. So it's a complete pass.
All right, next game. Prop Fever, mute that guy. Mute that guy. Next game, Phillies, Red Sox. Pitchers duel incoming here, Toast. Pitchers duel. Christopher Sanchez, Nick Pivetta, both these pitchers are throwing really well. Not just having good seasons, but as of late, both have been dealing. I think both these lineups are overvalued. This is under all the way for me. I honestly wish there was more. I wish there were more runs last night because I feel like last night was low scoring. It was the final score 4-1. And it was a lower scoring game. It was an under game all the way. And I feel like the fact that we just saw that last night probably robbing me of a half run that would be on this total. But either way, I think under's the move here. Like I said, I think it's a sell high on both lineups. Red Sox hitting numbers look really good recently. But if you actually look, I mean, they lit up. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but their numbers are a bit skewed. I don't think the Red Sox lineup are quite that good. And we've been saying it for a while. The Phillies are winning games. They're probably the best team in baseball, but not offensively right now. Their starting pitching and their bullpen and their defense are elite. But last night's a perfect example of it. They scored 4 runs at Fenway. If you score 4 runs on the road at Fenway, you're going to lose a lot of games. But their pitching, bullpen, defense got them another win, and keeps getting the Phillies win. So I think this is a sell high in the Phillies lineup as well. I'm on the under.
Red Sox money line for me plus 110. I actually kind of like this one. Maybe I read it wrong, but I'm going to take my chances here. I took the Red Sox yesterday, obviously. And I know I lost, but at the same time, I don't think that Philadelphia played really well either. A couple solo shots from Schwarber and 2 runs off of an error. Maybe they score another one that inning, I don't know. But regardless, it came from an error. And I understand that Boston's looked like crap a little bit, and especially facing Wheeler. But now they're going to be facing Christopher Sanchez. Not only is that huge because obviously Sanchez isn't nearly as good as Wheeler, but he's also a lefty. And Boston's been a top 10 team versus left-handed pitching over the last couple weeks in a while now. And the other thing is that Sanchez dominates left-handed bats, but Boston's only going to have 3 lefties in the lineup today. So all those right-handed bats should give Sanchez some trouble. Nick Pivetta starting for Boston. I mean, over his last 4 starts at home, he's been pretty damn good. He had a start against the Brewer, or what was it? He had like a bad start against the Brewers or something like that. But besides that, I mean, he's been pretty damn decent for them. So as long as he doesn't get absolutely blown up by this Phillies lineup, and you might say, well, that might be crazy. But again, they didn't do much yesterday. And the bottom 4 of that lineup is still Dahl, Sosa, Stubbs, and Rojas. That's not scaring anybody. And I understand that the Boston lineup isn't world beaters themselves, but I think this line kind of tells the story. I think there's a reason that the Phillies are kind of cheap right now. And last but not least, Boston has everybody rested and available in their bullpen that they would want. The Phillies are going to be a little bit short in their bullpen. Nothing crazy, but no Alvarado and no Strom, which are 2 of their better arms.
Strom would pitch if they need him. Alvarado I'll give you, though. No Alvarado, who's been the best.
Over 40 in 3 days? I don't know, maybe. But either way, I think there's a little bit of advantage to Boston in the later innings if it's still a game. So, yeah, I'm on Boston. I bet it.
Here's the thing, though. What you said about Sanchez versus right-handed bats. Yes, the Red Sox are going to have 6 righties in the lineup, but most of those guys are not normal. Like, the bottom half of that lineup. Like, isn't Boston normally a lefty-heavy lineup? I want to pull up their starting lineup right now. Because I was looking at that same thing.
I mean, they've also been dealing with a lot of injuries and stuff like that too. So,
after Connor Wong, who are these guys regular starters like Rafaela, Dalbec, Westbrook?
Well, Bobby Dalbec is not. No, Rafaela. I mean, he's played like 60 plus games or something.
So he's a regular starter. All right. All right, so it just they have 6 righties in the lineup, but I just didn't think it was the most explosive 6 righties as far as the
They're not.
All right, I'm on the under, and I bet that too. So
I think if your under hits, I win. So I'm good with that.
All right, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and we already unveiled that we're both on the Reds. So yeah, both of us are on the Reds money line. All right, so it's not that. First of all, this is not a fade of the Cleveland bats. It's not that I think Lodolo's going to absolutely deal here, but I think there's a chance that we see him pitch a good game. Cleveland's lineup has been great, for real. They've been better at home and they've been better against righties, but that's not to say they can't hit on the road and then they can't hit lefties. They can, but they haven't really exploded on lefty starters recently. If you look at the game logs, lefty starters have been able to put together good games against Cleveland. They're hitting lefties out of the bullpen, doing a lot of the damage against righties, doing a lot of the damage at home. But a lefty starter is able to pitch a good game against Cleveland, especially at home. That's number one. Number two, damn it, I don't have the righty-lefty splits, but the righty-lefty splits for Lodolo are favorable. I don't have them in front of me. But overall, it's not that I think Lodolo, who's been pitching really well, is going to blank Cleveland at all. It's the other side. And Tanner Bybee, oh man, I actually want to pull this up because
please do.
This is the
stark difference.
This is the whole reason for the bet here. This is a pure fade of Tanner Bybee in this spot. And by the way, I like Tanner Bybee. So by no means am I saying, oh man, fade Tanner Bybee. But this is just a nightmare spot for him in like 3 different ways.
And while Kyle's pulling it up before he or anybody asked, Reds will be starting 6 of the lefties that he's about to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. So perfect. So Tanner, oh my God, come on, Tanner Bybee. Okay. So Tanner Bybee, first of all, has been great. He's been pitching really well. So let's start with his game logs. Who has Tanner Bybee been pitching against? He's pitching really well, right? Well, home against Kansas City. The Royals never hit on the road. The Nats at home. The Nats line up on the road. The Angels, who, by the way, hit him up. But the Angels are the worst lineup in baseball against righties. The Angels are the worst lineup in baseball against righties. The Twins, who, they have 13 runs today, but that lineup for the most part is pretty trash. The Rangers, they're not hitting. The Tigers, trash. And then the Angels again, the worst lineup in baseball against lefties. This dude has had the easiest stretch of schedule for a righty starter ever. Now he goes on the road to Cincinnati, and the Reds are smashing the ball, especially against right-handed pitching. It's a top 5, top 6 lineup against righties in the last 2 weeks. They're crushing righty starters that they've seen here. Now, it's not the best names, but still, they're scoring runs on righty starters. And then here's the kicker, what Toast was talking about. Tanner Bybee, very strong numbers against righty bats, pretty ugly looking numbers against lefty bats, and the Reds are going to be loaded with lefties. So I expect a big number for the Reds. I also thought about taking the over, but I felt more comfortable. I got the Reds at minus 108. I know that there's some more expensive options out there, minus 115s, minus 120, but I like the Reds to win the game. By the way, Cleveland also used Class A 2 of the last 3, and the Reds bullpen has sneakily been pretty good. So I'm on the Reds. Reds.
I can't really add much. You pretty much hit everything that I was going to say. I'm on the Reds too. I also played them minus 1.5 at plus 170 because I think that if they start to score, they're probably going to get going, and Cleveland can throw this game away because, like Saw said, Class A's went 2 of the last 3 nights, and they saw Cade Smith, Henches, and Heron yesterday. So I just think this is a very, very good spot for the Reds to get right in a game that I understand that Cleveland has been playing really, really well, but Tanner Bybee is really, really due to get hit up here soon, and I think here in Great America Ballpark could be a great spot for it to be. So I'm all over the Reds today. 4-1 Giants. Let's go.
By the way, the Brewers are blowing this game.
Really?
It's 5-2 now. The Blue Jays have 2 men on, no outs.
It's 16-8 in Minnesota. What the hell is
2 of the worst offenses in baseball. All right, Prop Beaver, switch us over to the next game, please, sir. Let's talk Mets team.
Hell yeah,
Andy said his lock of the year is Mets first 5 run line today. He didn't say that. So there was an odd number in the league today. So as an extra to make it even, I put Andy in as a contestant, and he has Mets first 5 run line on his picks. So that's why we're making that joke. So it's Mets Marlins, and dude.
Shout out to the Fish, first 5 full game yesterday.
I was talking about this in the Discord. I'm thoroughly convinced the Mets are fudging the numbers when it comes to Pete Alonso. MLB.com and ESPN says that he's batting 240. I watch at least 100 Mets games a year. Dude, I haven't seen him get a hit yet this year. I would like someone to send me a video highlight reel of his hits this year because I'm convinced there's less than 10. This dude always gets out.
I was legit listening to. God damn
Oh no, I'm not even making a joke. Dude, I'd take over under and the actual hits that aren't fake, that Pete Alonso actually recorded hits, like 9 on the year. Man never gets a hit, and they have him batting 240. That's some bullshit. So someone's doing something. They're trying to jack his price up or something.
I'm on the fish. I bet the fish money line at plus 130. If you're gonna give me a big number to fade the Mets, I'm going to do it. Do the Mets hit lefties pretty well, and have they got to Braxton Garrett in the past? Yeah, already once this year as well. But he did look really good against them in a couple good starts in 2023 as well. So I don't really think that 10 runs over his last 8 innings is really indicative of what we're going to see from Braxton Garrett. David Peterson, average. I don't expect there to be a ton of runs in this game, so I don't know what the total is, but what is the total? 7.5 makes sense. I guess, yeah, lean under. I don't expect there's a whole bunch of runs, but we've seen the Mets blow games over and over again. If you're going to give me plus 130, I'm going to take it. So I won both my bets with the fish yesterday, first 5 in full game. I don't know. There's something that in my plums that tell me that the fish just like playing in Citi Field. It is what it is. I'm on the fish, and I did bet it.
The fish may like playing in Citi Field. The Mets certainly fucking don't. Mets minus 1.5. I don't know. Peterson should deal against this scrub lineup.
I agree.
The Brewers are literally blowing this. He's about to walk the bases loaded. Next game, yo.
Oh my God.
Pittsburgh, St. Louis. Is this total really at 8.5 now? Or is Andy High making the graphics?
I don't know. Mine's frozen right now.
I got it right here. 8.5. Okay, you can still get. Wow. Give me well, shit. CLV King. CLV King. I got over 7.5 last night. So yeah, I'm on the over at 8.5.
Oh, nice. Sorry, I was watching the other game. Nice call.
Yeah, we'll say that if it hits.
I need runs too from my bet. So
yeah, I'm on the over here at 8.5. I don't really know how much I like it. I got it at 7.5 last night, but kind of a sell high spot on both starting pitchers. Bailey Falter, who's having a great season. Guys like Prop Beaver, Toast, Kamish, like guys that pay attention to the underlying metrics have been telling us that there's regression is due for this guy, and I think we've begun to see it. Now, he did pitch against the Dodgers. It's got him a little bit of slack. Like, I don't think we should just bail on pitchers by getting hit up by a lineup full of Hall of Famers, but still, regression is coming for this guy, and I think we've begun to see it. Cardinals haven't really destroyed lefties this year, but we know that they're capable of it because this was the best lineup against left-handed pitching in baseball as recent as a year ago, 18 months ago. So I think the Cardinals will definitely produce better against left-handed pitching down the stretch of this season. So I like Falter to give up at least 2 or 3 runs here. And on the other side, man, I don't freaking know. I guess he sucks. I don't know.
Sure.
Sonny Gray's got elite numbers at home. Toast says his arm is dead with no evidence at all.
He stinks. I know that. I can
Play
smell that.
then.
How's that? I did bet the Pirates. Pirates first 5 team total over 1.5. I bet it as soon as the line dropped.
Of Sonny Gray, bro. Pirates first 5 team total over 1.5.
Goddamn right. You goddamn right. He's given this up in all of his 5 of his last 6 starts. The only start that he didn't was against the Cubs. Last year he faced the Pirates. He gave up 4 runs in 6 2/3. Yeah, I am not really worried about it. I will take the Pirates to score 1, especially knowing that the total went from 7.5 to 8.5. The book's telling you that there's going to see some runs tonight. I'll take my chances that the Pirates get 2 off of Mr. Overrated himself, Sonny Gray.
Yeah, so when I handicapped this game, I had this one at 3-3 after 5 innings. As far as the bullpens, neither of these they're both like slightly below average, so it's not like I'm not like fade. Actually, the Cardinals bullpen has been a little bit better than that. I misspoke. The Cardinals bullpen would be slightly above average, but the bullpens are okay. It's not really a fade of the bullpens, but the way I see it, I only need 2-3 runs in the late innings to cash it. That's the way I see it. So, yeah, give me Pittsburgh first 5. Give me the over. Toast is on the Pittsburgh first 5 team total over a fade of Sonny Gray.
Oh yeah.
Next up. Beautiful. Yanks, Royals. Man, thank God I didn't play Kansas City last night. I wanted to, too.
This is the game I was so mad. I should have played Yankees 1.5 like I wanted to, and I should have done Austin Wells home run, and both of them freaking hit with ease.
So the Royals dead, or like what's up?
I agree. I think so. I had this debate with System Plays last night. Like, I am at a point where the Royals at home are good at home is dead until further notice, until I say otherwise. I get, look, the two series before the Padres series was Detroit and Oakland, if I'm not sure. So yes, they looked really good in those series. So I'm not going to go through all the games, but my point is that I personally do not think that the Royals are that good at home, or at least playing that good at home, especially over the last couple of weeks. So I'm no longer looking at Royals games like, oh, gotta bet them at home. That's not where I'm at. So I think it's Daniel Lynch is going to be the primary, if I'm right, and then Dan Avila or whatever starting. I don't really care. It'd be Yankees -1.5 or pass. Cody Petit looked decent against the Dodgers.
He looked good, man.
I mean, he looked decent against Cleveland. The San Francisco got a couple to him. So I have a hard time believing that Cody Petit actually doesn't. I'm probably butchering his name, but regardless, I have a hard time believing that he doesn't pitch well today. So there is no reason. I have no reason to fade the Yankees today. Not only that, they didn't use anybody in their bullpen yesterday, so now everybody's even fresher than they were yesterday. Yeah, it's Yankees -1.5 or pass. Like, there's no way in hell I can even look at the Royals.
It was just 1-5-4, by the way. So yeah, you can put the same graphic up for me, Prop Beaver. There's no reason not to even look at the Royals after what we've seen. Not to mention the Yankees are a righty heavy lineup, and you got Daniel Lynch, the lefty, pitching to him. Yeah. Look, we know. Okay, so we know that these heavy favorites, these teams that we keep betting the run line, we know that eventually that's going to fall off. The lineup's going to get cold at some point. So it's baseball. Every single team in the MLB is going to do this. So we know it's going to cool off. But until we see the Yankees start to cool off, there's just no reason to not expect them to score at least 5 runs a night. So, and like Toe said, Petit looked pretty good. Royals at home, I agree that I think I'm going to put the Royals at home trend in the same category as the Angels against lefties trend.
Yes, 100%. Yes,
Dead.
I got so lucky last night to cash that bet. Good God.
Yeah, the Angels against lefties, dead. It's over. With. We had a good time. We had a lot of laughs. Dead. It's over. All right, let's move on to the next game, please.
And I just want to be really quickly. It's not that the Royals lost those 2 games to the Yankees. Please don't think that I looked at that and I'm like, oh, the Royals lost to the Yankees, they're bad. No, it's the fact that they're not even having competitive at bats, and the Yankees are. It's just not. It's just ugly. That's the issue. It'd be different if they were like, whatever.
Rodon made them look silly. Silly. Rodon made them look like the 2020 Royals, or the 2020, the one they were terrible. What year was that?
Almost every year besides like 3-year run.
All right. White Sox, Seattle. Man, I had Mariners -1.5 last night. You know what? I could probably contact and get my bet refunded because of the Brian Wu shit. I should probably do that. No, I didn't even look at this game. Don't care. Bryce Miller at home is someone I'm inclined to bet. But after what happened last night with Brian Wu, I'm a little pissed off at Seattle. So nothing.
I can't bet. Yeah, I can't bet Seattle with the bullpen. That's just I understand that Chicago's bad, but Mariners aren't a team that I am trying to lay -1.5 with. Really, in general, on the road or especially at home. And again, I don't expect Bryce Miller to pitch bad. I'm not saying that. I just, when you have no Munoz, Stanek has went 2 of our back-to-back nights with heavy pitch load. Saucedo's 2 of the last 3 nights. Thornton went last night. Bauman went 2 of the last 3 nights. I mean, so you're looking at the only true fresh arm in that Seattle bullpen is Austin Voth. So it's just later on in the games, I just don't want a Robert homer to kill something. So I'm not in a spot where I want to get involved. So I think Seattle wins because the White Sox continue to lose, but I'm not trying to bet it in any way.
The Twins now have 17 runs, by the way.
Yeah.
25 runs in a game with 2 bottom 10 offenses. Holy shit.
Wasn't the total 8?
Yeah.
Something? I mean,
yeah. No, it was 8.
Yeah.
Next
Tell
game.
all you need to know.
Angels, Snakes. Look, don't want to say I told you so, but I told you D-backs -1.5 last night. What a sharp move. I didn't even bet it.
Yo, we both called this. I mean, we both hit our bets. In
Oh,
this
that's
game.
right. You had Angels team total over.
That's just what we do, baby.
Yeah,
Just
we
back
both.
tickets.
I thought you were on the Angels for some reason.
No, couldn't do that.
I think Soriano can pitch really well here, but the D-backs against righties kind of scare me right now. They're starting to come around.
Yes. Very impressed with what I saw from Arizona last night. Corbin Carroll started to get going. I did not bet them myself, but I could definitely, if somebody said that they were betting Arizona, I could get it. I would bet Arizona -1.5 at a big plus price personally. I did not bet this, but it's the only way I would look. First and foremost, neither one of these teams play a whole bunch of one-run games. And the Angels, I mean, not to mention the fact that they're bad, but that bullpen, you never really know. And honestly, if you look at what the Diamondbacks are doing, I mean, they've exploded at times. So you rather get it. It's kind of like all or nothing. Last couple games, 9 runs, 1-3, 4-3, 8-4, 10-5. So when they score, they score. When they don't, they don't. I have a hard time believing they slow down tonight. Like I said, it was really impressive what they did last night. So I don't know how much I love Slade Ciccone, but I will say that his 2 home starts were really bad, but he faced a really hot Padres lineup, and at the time, I think the Reds were pretty hot at the time too, so, or at least on a little bit of a winning streak. So I don't know what to expect from Slade Ciccone, so maybe an over 8.5, but even that, it's like juice to the under. So again, I think Arizona wins pretty easily, but again, I'm not betting it personally. I can't just get there.
Yeah, it's a straight pass for me because I actually kind of want to take a shot with the Angels, and I know that's not smart. So just a straight pass for me. I like Soriano. Guy clocks 103 digits on the radar gun regularly. Really dominant stuff, but Arizona against righties, I guess they're good now. Sucks.
And the reason I say Arizona -1.5, I think like 7 of the last 10 games that they've won is by 2 runs or more. So it's just one of those things where if they're winning games and their bullpen's on, they should win it by a couple. But yeah, that's why I said that.
All right. Last game up. Let me just send the invite to the golf guy, so he's ready to come in. We got U.S. Open picks coming right after this. All right, last game up. Texas Dodgers, and I mean, how would you not look right back at Dodgers and a half? I -1.5. I know the whole world's going to do it, but how could you not?
Oh yeah, I've already bet it. Sent it in, no question. Easy money.
Yeah, I'm down to bet this too. I'm going to bet this.
Yeah, I keep on trying to preach to you guys that the Rangers are bad. They're a really, really bad baseball team. And I know that it's hard to see that for some after they won last year, but they're a bad baseball team. And the Dodgers are starting to click. I mean, they scored 11 against Pittsburgh. They scored 11 against the Yankees. They scored 15 against the Rangers last night. Obviously, those weren't in back-to-back games or anything. But my point is that this Dodgers offense is starting to really turn it on. And do I trust Walker Buehler? Not a ton, but he's had some success against this Texas lineup, and I think that he's starting to come into it a little bit more. I mean, now he's looking at his 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7th or 8th start now. So I think that he should starting to feel himself a little bit more. So, but again, it's just me fading the Rangers continually. And if you're going to give me a big plus price like they did again, I'm going to take it. So yeah, Dodgers -1.5.
All right, let's do some community parlay before the golf. Hit it.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay, yeah.
All right, let's go back to game. There we go. Let's run go to game 14. There we go. Let's do a community parlay real quick, and then we'll get to the U.S. Open picks. All right. Braves, Orioles, they like Orioles. Orioles money line, the first option, please. Community parlay coming off a hit. Braves money line. No, Orioles money line. No, I said Braves, Orioles money line. Nationals money line. Rays money line. Phillies money line. Cast your votes.
That golf guy's been really hot, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been killing it, man. Hopefully. Both my bets won again last week. That's 3 weeks in a row where I went 2-0. And then the week before that, I went 2-1 or something. I think just tailing that guy's bets, I'm like 11-1 in my last 12 or some shit.
Hell yeah.
Orioles by a mile. I'm surprised the Orioles won it that convincingly over the Phillies. You would think the Phillies at minus 120.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Next up, we got Reds money line, Mets money line, Cardinals money line, Yankees money line.
Cast your votes.
Why does it say Orioles on the screen still? Oh, I'm behind. Never mind. So Yankees won? Yeah, okay. So now put we got Mariners money line. Let's go Diamondbacks money line. Dodgers money line. And
This is not a Nuggets hat, by the way, chat. Not a Nuggets hat. Tacoma Rainiers.
And we'll go first and second from this poll to round it out. Last, cast your votes, cast your votes. It looks like it's going to be Dodgers and Phillies. It's the same 4 teams as yesterday. Orioles, Yankees, Dodgers, and Phillies again. Same 4 teams. Toast, can you get the odds on that real quick?
Yeah, sorry. I started reading the chat. I never read the chat.
Oh, wait, did D-backs win? Oh, I thought it was Phillies. It's actually kind of close. Do you want to give it another few seconds?
Yankees.
Go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end poll. It is the Phillies? It looked like they were up 4%. So
Phillies and Dodgers to end it, right?
Orioles, Yankees, Dodgers, Phillies, same 4 teams.
763.
763. All right. Orioles money line, Yankees money line, Dodgers money line, Phillies money line plus 763. All right. Let's talk golf. Underdog first. Underdog. Put it up on the screen. This comes from Prop Beaver himself. And Prop Beaver sent it in. Maybe I'll blow the screen up. No, Tanner Bybee lower. What is that? Lower what? I can't see it. 17.5 pitching outs. And what's the second? Nick Pivetta higher fantasy points. I can't see the screen. So how am I supposed to know? Nick Pivetta higher than fantasy points. That's what it says. So that's a 2-pick, and if you don't have an Underdog Fantasy account, it's available in any state highlighted on this map. So if you're in one of the states highlighted in yellow, head over to Underdog Fantasy, the website, or download the app. When you make your account, make sure you use the promo code BET, B-E-T. That'll get you a $100 deposit bonus match. If you deposit $100, they will give you a free $100 to play with. All right, Toast. I'll talk to you in the Discord later, man. Let's bring on the big nasty. The U.S. Open. You have names set up for me. Yep. So let's get him on the screen first, so I'm not talking to nobody. All right. So the last few weeks has been kind to us. You have his name for the lower thirds, right? All right, cool. So the last couple weeks have been kind to us. So what do we want to do for a poll? I didn't even think. Let me pull up the odds. Let's do with I know what we'll do. Let's go golf odds. All right. So who are the favorites to win this?
You got probably DeChambeau, Scheffler, Rory are all up there.
Yeah. Go Bryson, Scheffler, Rory as a poll. Just Bryson. That's why I said Bryson. Bryson, Rory, Scheffler. Just something to have for the poll so they could vote. All right, so we do have pick graphics in. You got 4 bets, so go ahead and start with your first.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it takes a specific set of skills to win a U.S. Open. When you've done it before, you obviously display those types of skills. If you look at Pinehurst in the past, there's only in the last 3 U.S. Opens at Pinehurst, only 4 players have shot under par. All right, so when you talk about those types of statistics, and you talk about past champions of U.S. Opens, Brooks Koepka is the name that comes to mind for me. He's won two U.S. Opens out of the last 5. And in terms of, what type of golf, what caliber golf it takes, it really takes a guy that is going to grind out pars. Koepka, can get blown away sometimes when the field is able to make a lot of birdies. The U.S. Open field, they're not making a lot of birdies. You're usually hovering around even par, and that kind of suits his game. So I'm going Koepka top 10.
Koepka top 10 plus 190.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me write it down. I usually tail 2 of your picks, so I'm going to write down Koepka top 10. Okay. What's next?
And I got 2 different guys that I'm looking at in the top 20. A guy that you're going to get really good price on right now because he hasn't been playing that good of golf, but he is the returning U.S. Open champion, Wyndham Clark. So you get a good price on him for top 20 here because he just missed the cut last week. I think in the PGA Championship he missed the cut, and I believe he missed the cut at Augusta. So I'm looking for a bounce back here from Wyndham Clark. I think you get him at a good price. And like you said, like we talk about, has done it in the U.S. Open before. So I kind of like it. He's tailor-made. He hits a long ball. You do have to be long. It is usually a par 70 in the U.S. Open. So looking for guys that fit that mold. I think you get a good price on Wyndham Clark this week. And, I'm going to roll with him for those reasons.
Okay, Wyndham Clark top 20. Okay. Where are we going next?
Another guy I like. So to win a U.S. Open, they usually have the golf course faster than fast. The greens are usually harder than hard. I'm going to go to the guy with the best flat stick on planet Earth, in my opinion. That's Cam Smith. Cam Smith to finish in the top 20. I like
Hold
here.
on. What the hell's a flat stick?
Putter.
Oh, putter. Flat stick. I've never heard that. All right. So he's got a good flat stick. Got it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think he has the best putting stroke on planet Earth. So where you're going to have to U.S. Opens, you're usually longer courses, usually have to scramble well, get up and down from everywhere. A guy with a good short game and a good putter is Cam Smith. So I like Cam Smith here, top 20. Has played well in majors in the past. And, just in terms of what, fitting the mold, right? What does it take to win a U.S. Open? I think he has that caliber of a game.
I'm getting made fun of in the comments for not knowing what a flat stick. You guys all know what a flat stick is? I guess I'm the only one. All right.
Long shot play here. You could possibly squeeze him in the top 20, but he still has plus odds at top 40 in FanDuel. Dean Burmeister has been playing really, really good golf. He finished in the top 10 in the PGA Championship. In terms of like the system that I use, where I'm using, they take all the statistics and they kind of based on the course fit tool with Data Golf. Dean Burmeister's 3rd on the list here.
What?
And yeah, crazy. He's only behind, I believe it's Bryson DeChambeau, and it might be Rory McIlroy. Might be the only 2 people he's behind in terms of course fit tool. No, it's actually DeChambeau and Sargent, who's an amateur. So Dean Burmeister is 3rd on this list ahead of Rory McIlroy. So the Data Golf model really likes him here. He just proved that he can compete in a major, finishing in the top 10 in the PGA Championship. So I think to get him,
he was top 10 in the PGA Championship. Oh, okay.
Yeah, to get him at plus money to finish in the top 40, I think is a steal. Like I said, you could persuade me. I think DraftKings offers top 30. FanDuel does not offer top 30, but I think you get a pretty good price at Dean Burmester.
So it looks like if you guys have Bet MGM or Bet 365, I don't have top 40 open, but at top 20 you can get plus 300s. So I bet MGM and 365, which means probably those two sports books might even have better prices than that.
Yeah, and so if you actually look at, I was looking at up my picks yesterday, and yesterday he was plus 400 to finish in the top 20. So obviously a decent amount of money is going towards him. If the line has moved, all the way to plus 300. So just food for thought. People like him, obviously. I think he's got, he fits the course, he fits the mold, he hits it a long way, and he just is playing good golf, truthfully, too.
Someone asked a question, said, Big Nasty, what golfers does this course suit best? Best tee to green guys or best driving accuracy and green and regulation guys?
So in terms of, if you look at like Data Golf has this whole model, right? And in terms of what the mold is for the Pinehurst number 2, it appreciates driving distance and shots gained approach to the green. It's not so much concerned about driving accuracy. So it's longer ball hitters and guys that have good approaches to the green. So, you can persuade me if you were looking for like a good iron striker, like a Tommy Fleetwood or a Colin Morikawa, guys who gain shots approach to the green. But again, US Open, they always have the course playing long. That's why Bryson and Rory are at the top of the field here in terms of what the course fit tool likes, because they're one of the two longest guys on the PGA Tour.
Cool. Doug, I didn't know you were such a golf guy, because Doug's in the comments. Doug's sitting at 0-2 in the league, looking for a bounce back. I didn't know he was a big fan of golf. Good to hear. But all right, cool. So we got 4 picks. Which two am I? I'm not taking Burmeister.
Yeah, listen, I got it. I get it. I mean, listen, Cam Smith is my favorite out of these picks, truthfully.
I'm taking Brooksy and Cam Smith.
And, again, you get a good price on Wyndham. I'm a little skeptical on him myself, but returning champion hasn't played the greatest of late. Looking to find a spark and, returning to defend your title. I mean, what other spark do you need? So if he gets it back together, he can easily compete, let alone finish in the top 20. So that's why I like the pick. But my two guys, I think, are Koepka and Cam Smith.
I'm going to go with those two as well. Koepka and Cam Smith. Those are the two I'm going to take. All right. Thanks for joining, man. We will, as far as the live show, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m. We're going through the whole slate. Just one show tomorrow, and we'll go through everything. So tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Or actually, I'll let you know on that. I got to look at some stuff. But we'll definitely be back at 11:30 a.m., and I'll let you know how long we're going to be on and all that. So everyone, remember to bet responsibly tonight. See you tomorrow.